Today's topic is peptic ulcer. It is described as the mucous membrane which is lining the digestive tract of the stomach and duodenum gets eroded. How it gets eroded? This is due to the imbalance between gastroduodenal mucosal defense mechanism and damaging forces of gastric acid and pepsin. That means when either the acid formation is in huge amount or when the mucosal defense mechanism gets impaired, then only the mucosal erosion occurs. This erosion is called as ulcer. The mucous membrane ultimately causes a gradual breakdown. The breakdown causes a burning pain or gnawing pain in the upper or middle part of the body. We can say that the ulcer, peptic ulcer, can be acute or chronic. Acute is associated with superficial erosion and minimal inflammation. It is of short duration and resolves quickly when the cause is identified and removed. Chronic ulcer is of long duration, eroding through the muscular wall with the formation of fibrous tissue. It may be present continuously for many months or intermittently throughout the person's lifetime. The peptic ulcer is divided into gastric ulcer, duodenal ulcer, esophageal ulcer. Very less common is the esophageal ulcer. Although gastric ulcer and duodenal ulcer, the symptoms are quite overlapping with each other and they are very common. The duodenal ulcers are the most common type of peptic ulcer, but we should know that whether the peptic ulcer is gastric origin or duodenal origin. In duodenal ulcer, the classic symptoms of duodenal ulcer include burning, gnawing, aching or hunger-like pain, primarily in the upper middle region of the abdomen, below the breastbone, that is in the epigastric region. The pain occurs. Pain may occur when the stomach is empty, that is after taking meal. 2 to 3 hours after taking you have taken a meal. Symptoms occur at night, so it will occur at night when the stomach gets empty between 11 p.m. to 2 a.m. when the acid secretion tends to be greatest. In gastric ulcer, the symptoms of gastric ulcer typically include pain soon after eating. The symptoms are sometimes not relieved by eating or taking antacids. Here in duodenal ulcer, pain is relieved when you are taking food, but it is not in the case of gastric ulcer. The symptoms are not relieved by eating or taking antacids, and it feels worse when you eat or drink. That is the opposite of duodenal ulcer. Now the cause of peptic ulcer are stress, anxiety, Helicobacter pylori infestation in the stomach, stress, excessive secretion of HCl, then any family tendency, blood group O, use of NSAIDs, excessive use of alcohol and smoking, then hyperacidity. Then there is one rare condition, gastric secreting malignant tumors, in which there is excessive secretion of HCl. Then a person if has esophageal ulcer has more tendency to develop peptic ulcer. GERD, gastroesophageal reflux disease, is also one of the cause. Now, Helicobacter pylori is a bacteria that is frequently found in the stomach. Non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, ibuprofen is the second important factor. Then smoking and other genetic and environmental factor is the third important factor. Next is psychological stress and anxiety. And after that, the dietary factors, that means lot of spices, etc. If these are used, for used regularly, then it can cause peptic ulcer. Now let us see the Helicobacter pylori infection. In almost all patients of peptic ulcer, there is Helicobacter pylori infection. The bacteria persist in the stomach for decades in most of the people. Most individuals infected by H. pylori will never experience clinical symptoms despite having chronic gastritis. Among approximately 10 to 20% of those colonized by H. pylori will develop gastric and duodenal ulcers. And H. pylori infection also increases risk of stomach cancer. Next risk is what I have already said, that use of NSAIDs. How the NSAIDs causes ulcer? NSAIDs inhibit the production of enzyme called as cyclooxygenase. So that means it will reduce the production of prostaglandin. Prostaglandin helps in mucus formation. So if prostaglandin production is reduced, the mucus is not protected from gastric acids. So easily the acids can erode the lining, causing bleeding and ulcers. Now let us see how the smoking affect the formation of peptic ulcer. PUD is peptic ulcer disease. Smoking increases the rate of gastric emptying. It diminishes the pancreatic bicarbonate secretion, decreases duodenal pH, reduces mucosal blood flow, and inhibit the mucosal prostaglandin formation. That means actually smoking causes formation of more duodenal ulcers. Next is that I have already said that gastrin secreting tumors, Zollinger-Ellison syndrome. So some of the tumors, they are rare, they also cause multiple, and they are difficult to heal ulcers because they are continuously secreting lot of acids. Excessive alcohol consumption erodes the mucosal lining of stomach, increases the amount of stomach acid which is produced. It is uncertain, however, that whether this alone can progress into an ulcer or not, or if it just aggravates the symptom of an existing ulcer. Caffeine, coffee, tea, etc., cold drinks, excessive amount which contain caffeine will stimulate acid secretion in the stomach. This can aggravate an existing ulcer, but the stimulation of stomach acid cannot be attributed solely to caffeine. So the pathogenesis can be seen, that how the stress causes ulcer. Stress causes altered behavior, altered physiology. When we are stressed, there is increased smoking, drinking, use of NSAIDs, we skip breakfast and sleep, and so this factor reduces the mucosal defense mechanism. Also in the body, physiology is altered. If you can see in the table, altered physiology reduces blood flow, increases acid secretion, increases the motility of gastric part, and decreases the duodenal motility. It decreases the immune defense mechanism also. Now, decreased blood flow will definitely decrease the mucosal defense mechanism because of poor blood supply. Increased acid secretion causes increased amount of acid in the duodenum. Then increased motility of the gastric acid and decreased duodenal motility increases amount of HCl in the duodenal area where it should not be, and decreased immune defense mechanism also causes infection of H. pylori. Now these all combination of the factors causes formation of duodenal ulcer. Please go through the diagram very carefully, then you will be able to understand properly. The next diagram also shows the same thing, that pathogenesis of peptic ulcer. There are some aggressive forces then there are mucosal defense forces, then there is some associated disease. Because of imbalance between the mucosal defense forces and the factors which are increasing the acid secretion, which are the aggressive forces, this imbalance causes formation of ulcerations in the stomach and duodenum. So today this is all about the peptic ulcer. I will continue with the rest in the next class.